Hello everyone, it's Sandra and welcome to today's video. It's going to be the next installment of my top 5 makeup series, and today we're talking about my top 5 neutral blushes. Now I do have a few bright blushes that I like to use here and there, but for the most part on a regular basis, 90% of the time the blush colors that I tend to gravitate towards are in the neutral nude family. I just love how easy they are. You don't really have to think too much about whether it matches your makeup look or not. Most of the time it will kind of work with anything, and I just love that they give the cheeks some definition. It gives them just a hint of color, but it never overpowers the look. It's always really, really soft. So I'm going to get started with probably my most frequently used. Ever since I discovered this blush color, I have been using it probably the most often out of all the neutral blushes that I own, and it's Marc Jacobs Air Blush in the color Flesh and Fantasy. I actually used this in my last Get Ready With Me video as well if you want to see what it looks like on, but I love it. It's got a hint of rose, a hint of bronze. It has this beautiful kind of like soft shimmery beige, but on the skin these colors mixed together just give the most subtle glow. I use this year round, but in the spring and summer I tend to use it more often. It is a great neutral blush, and if you have not checked it out yet, I highly suggest you do. The Marc Jacobs Air Blush formula is probably my favorite blush formula of all time. It just is incredibly soft and easy to work with and never turns out patchy, easy to blend. Very great formula. The next blush is probably the one that kind of started my love for neutral toned blushes, because before that I was really into more brighter peaches and pinks. But once this came into my life, it kind of opened the floodgates. And this is Burberry Earthy. This is a fantastic blush. It looks like nothing in the pan, but just magic happens when you get this on your cheeks. It has the uncanny ability to make your cheeks stand out without having to use any other product. You don't have to use a separate contour, you don't have to use a bronzer, you can just kind of slap this on and it looks so good. It just gives the most perfect no makeup definition. You can also use this as a contour color if you are more light, slightly light to medium. They do have a darker color. They have a color called Dark Earthy, and that one is very similar to the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder in medium, maybe a tiny touch darker than that. That one is definitely more of a contour color, whereas this kind of works really well as a blush on the cheeks as well, but you can also use it as a contour. So it's really multi-purpose. If you have a skin tone like me, maybe even lighter. Burberry is one of my favorite beauty brands. I just think that they do color for the face so well. Their blushes are great, their eyeshadows are fantastic, they have really good lipsticks as well, and it's very much an underrated luxury beauty brand. I never really hear too many people talk about it. I do know that they seem to be having distribution issues. They used to be carried on Sephora.com, but it almost looks like they're not carrying a lot of it anymore. In Canada, you can find pretty decent stocks of it over at the Bay, so I recommend checking that out. Also, you can order directly from the Burberry website, and I believe it's free shipping for any order, both in Canada and in the United States if you want to check out some of these products. But I absolutely love them, and I think that they're really worth checking out, especially their blushes. They have such a wonderful, subtle, beautiful color range if you're into more of like that subtle natural look. And my other favorite blush that is also by Burberry is along the same veins, but a bit warmer, and this is the color Tangerine. This is such a beautiful blush color, and I do enjoy wearing it mostly in the summertime. I can just always pair this with a warm brown eye, maybe like an orangey brown eye, and a nude peachy lip, maybe even a bright orangey red, and just a soft hint of this tangerine on the cheeks. It just looks so good. The next nude blush color is Charlotte Tilbury First Love. Now this has this ring around it that is slightly more neutral, and a hint of a warmer, slightly peachy color in the center. And the premise of this blush is that you're supposed to first swirl your brush on the outside, do a larger application on the bulk of your cheeks, and then just tap in the middle of the blush to get that warmer color and just pop it into the center of your cheeks. I sometimes follow that method. Sometimes I just kind of swirl my brush all over and just go to town and apply it on my cheeks. Either way works really well. This is such a beautiful, slightly peachy nude blush. I like to wear this year round, but again, I prefer to wear this in the summertime. I just think that it complements the tones that I like to wear in the summertime more beautifully, and this looks so good with like a bright coral, bright orangey red lip. And sometimes if I really just want my bright lip color to stand out, I will use the colors in this blush as eyeshadow too, to create quite a monochromatic look on my eyes and my cheeks, and then boom, a pop of color on the lips. One of my longest standing loves, and the blush that I'm actually wearing today, is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in the shade Exposed. I am heavily using it at the moment because it's part of my Project Pan initiative. I'm trying to use up some of my makeup this year, and well, I'm probably going to be doing it into next year as well. This has so much product in it. It has taken me a long time to get to this level of pan, and still I don't think I'll be able to finish it this year, even though I've been using it almost every single day. It is such a beautiful, subtle rose blush. This is slightly more cool toned than the Charlotte Tilbury and the Marc Jacobs, and obviously the Tangerine colors that I showed before. It has this like slight sculpting rose aspect to it, and in the wintertime I can use this all alone on the cheeks. I find that I don't need a bronzer, I don't need a separate contour, and it's another blush that works really well with a brighter lip color as well, especially in the winter, you know, those deep burgundy colors and like brick reds. This looks really good paired with those types of colors. There is a new Buxom blush formula. I think it's like the primer infused blush or something like that. And there's a color called Seychelles that I really want to try next. So once I use this up, I want to kind of treat myself to that color. I have one honorable mention because I believe this color is discontinued, but if you also own this blush and you haven't been paying attention to it, maybe it's time to revisit because it is such an amazing color. And it's by Giorgio Armani. It's the Cheek Fabric blush in the color Daybreak. And it is the most stunning pale pink ever. It is like the grown-up version of MAC Well Dressed, if you remember that color. I'm not sure what Armani is doing with the cheek fabric blushes. I don't know if they're going to be kind of revamping them and relaunching them. I'm not sure what's happening with it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite nude neutral blush is, or are you more of a bright blush girl? I'm going to be chatting with you in the comment section below. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!